Alright, wife's asleep, kids are asleep, let's play some video games. My name is not John Smith and today we're playing Timberborn. Welcome back to Beaverome. As you probably have already noticed, this looks different than at the end of last episode. Because this is a special episode. I already did this recording yesterday. It took me 3 hours. I tried to play around with the water physics, with the CMS throughput rate, and let's say it was highly unsatisfactory, the outcome. I did some mistakes, I've made some mistakes during that recording, which I now hopefully figured out. We still have more testing to do. In the meantime, there were also a few comments on the last video, so I've learned a couple of new things. And since the recording was 3 hours long and we've basically didn't learn anything new from that, and it's kind of boring, I'm just gonna sum up what we did. Obviously something happened over here, but I'm gonna show you first what we did apart from that. We've extended the battery thingies here and did some dynamiting so that we can increase the amount of power that gets stored. We have a whole lot of dynamiting done over there. Do some more here. We've also started to lay down some dirt over here, and now also the beavers from ancient Greece can help piling up the dirt here. Nothing too interesting. We have expanded our maple tree farm. This is now also maple trees, because in ancient Beaverome we do not have enough maple syrup for our ancient Beaveroman maple pastries. Well, maybe now we have. This is filling up, that's great. And we also have some maple syrup stored in here that didn't happen before. So maybe this will now be enough maple syrup, we'll see. I have also built a few more houses over here. I think they look kind of nice. We'll expand on that even further in the future. That was just things that I did in between while waiting for, the next good tide, bad tide, for all the other things that I did here. What else did I do? I've also come back to Beaverome, and I've built one more wood workshop here and removed the observatory, which we never used, because we do have treated planks problems here in Beaverome. I think we also have pine resin problems, but I guess that's something for the future. So yeah, just to sum up what we did apart from working on the aqueduct thing. So now, in the last episode, I tried to play around with CMS and the water throughput, and it kind of didn't feel right. I think I made some mistakes there. What I did yesterday during my recording that you will never see because it's really boring is that I've built an overflow reservoir, tiny overflow reservoir where we can control the input for the overflow aqueduct, which is completely unnecessary. So I don't even bother to tell you about it. I've also expanded this area here. If you remember, this looked like something like this. We had the water go down this pipe and then go back up again. Well, once it was full, the water would flow here through here, but since we do have 2 edges here, or rather 4, but those 2 edges were counting as downward edges, which would affect the whole CMS throughput value of the whole system. So the idea is now that we can put more CMS through here, because it would not be limited by those 2 edges, with having this be as big as we do have it down there. If this turns out to be really useful, then I'll play around with the aesthetics again. Right now I don't care about that. We may also have a problem here on this edge. Last episode, was that the last episode or was it yesterday? Can't remember. I was talking about this being 2 tiles wide everywhere. I'm not so sure anymore, because if we have a look at this, this is only 1 tile wide here. So I was wrong about that. Thanks for being so persistent, I guess, in the comments. So this may also be an issue. Yeah. What we are going to do now is to find out how much CMS we can get in the aqueduct on the various parts of the aqueduct. We have some parts of the aqueduct that could cause a problem, or all of them could be the problem together. Right now, this is set. Let me pause the game so that we do have some good tide left, some time of the good tide left. Right now we have one sluice that is automatically opened and will close above downstream depth of 0.9. So this doesn't put the whole put the maximum amount of water through that can get through one sluice. With this setup we have a CMS of 2 times 2.4, which is nowhere near the alleged maximum of 6.6 per tile. This also stays the same in the system as of right now. We also, well, over here it's even 0.1 CMS more, but it's basically the same. We do have some points that could be the problem. Maybe this is not enough, you know, edges to get rid of all the CMS here. I think that's 4 edges, but maybe something else is calculated here because of the dams. We could have a problem here because of the because of this bend and this and that probably not being 2 tiles wide. And we still could have a problem with this thing. I think theoretically this should now let everything through CMS wise, but who knows, because we have we have 8 tiles of, you know, 8 edges here, which should be enough, but who knows how this works. So long story short, what we are going to do now is figuring out where we have the problem. And with that, we are first going to try to open both sluices, which should give us the maximum amount of water that can be handled by 2 tiles. Those 2 sluices are the only input for our aqueduct now, and we'll see how much CMS we get on those stream gauges, and I'm pretty sure we'll have overflow, and we'll see where that happens, and then we'll start to rip out some levees on the different parts of this aqueduct to hopefully find out where our weak points are. If we do not have enough time here in our 0.9 days, I'll just reload and we'll test that. So right now this is opened. And we're already getting the overflow. These CMS are going up here. So we're at 6.2 CMS here, 6.1. We're probably gonna get to our maximum amount of 6.6 CMS. I mean, it's even higher than that. I think that's because of the overflow that happens. So let's just say this is the maximum amount of CMS that we can get here. We're obviously losing CMS. Over here we are down to 3.8, and over here we see that we can only handle 2.9 per tile. Why is that? Somewhere on this system we can't get enough CMS out of it. So let's see what happens if we remove some tiles here. If we can, you know, the idea is if I now remove, let's say 4 on this side and 4 on that side, this should be more than enough space for the water to go away. And if now everything is fixed, then this was the problem. Now the water can go away here. We are still at 2.8-ish. 2.9. So, okay, before the bend it's a bit weird. Four CMS here, 2.9 CMS here. So maybe we have increased the whole thing by 0.1 CMS. Not really sure. Maybe that's a little problem. It's not a big problem though. So let's see if the bend is the problem. I only have 0.2 days left. Let me reload the game. Okay, we're back here. So, the big problem is not this thing. It might be a small problem. Let's try to rip out some parts over here. Let's say, let's do 4 tiles here, 4 tiles here. Could be a statue be a problem. You know what? Let's do some tiles over there as well. Okay, so now we are trying to figure out if the bend is the problem. Are we getting more CMS here? Now it's 3.2 per tile. Hold on. Yeah, well. After reloading the game, I also have to reopen the sluices, right? The CMS are increasing here. We should get back to 6.6-ish per tile. And we already have 4.5 and 4. So we already have more CMS here than we had before. So this band is obviously a problem. 6.7 and 7 CMS. That's more than I thought there should be, but never mind. This goes down to 5.1 here, then goes down even further to 5. We are at 5 CMS. We can handle 5 CMS per tile with this. So maybe this here is still a problem. And in order to figure that out, we are going to rip out some parts over here. But the major problem is the bend. That's what we found out now. Now with that, what are we getting here? 6.1 CMS. So this thing is also a problem. We are getting 6.7 and 6.9 CMS out of this, and we can handle this. The thing could handle 6.3 CMS if we didn't have this, this thing, and if we didn't have the bend. We can fix the bend. We cannot fix this. And we also have to reduce the amount of water that gets in here to be... Well, what did we have after this? I think 5-ish, right? So if we have 5-ish CMS per tile, that's 10 CMS in total. That's perfectly fine for what we want to do. We then have to build something here to, you know, set the amount of CMS that go through here. We'll figure something out. But now we have scientifically proven where we have the problem. Should have done that right from the get-go and not play around for 3 hours like I did yesterday, but that's not your problem because you don't have to see that. And I don't have to edit it because I'm just going to throw the footage away. It was boring anyway, so... Okay, I'm gonna reload again. We'll keep that. We are going to be fine with 5 CMS per tile. We will... Yeah, we're going to keep the extension of this thing, obviously, as well, because we need that. And we have to work on this bend. And then we probably have to figure out if we need more tiles dropping down here. And then we have to build something where we can adjust the amount of CMS that go through here. Probably with, I don't know, floodgates, where we can set the height so that we get the exact amount of overflow that we want. Not sure if that's going to work out how I intend to, but we'll find a way. So yeah, let me reload again and then we'll get to work. Okay, right, we're back here now. And yeah, this now counts. No more testing. We'll now, first of all, fix this edge here, bend. And I think we just need to widen that by 1, which will be possible by just replacing this platform with an overhang, and this should just do the trick. So let's see if I'm right. Overhang here. We'll need the levee here. This will have to be impermeable floor. And then once this is built, we can also remove this levee. Platform here and there. and re-establish the path. Just build this one as well, and that should do the trick. Probably impermeable floor down here as well. Yeah. Highest priority on that. Triple speed. This should help with, you know, the throughput for this bend. What we are also going to do is... I'm gonna remove the levees here so that we have... remove this, remove those dams, and remove those levees. This will be the last thing that I want to play around with. I'm not sure if that's now enough edges to flow where the water can flow down. It probably is not. How many edges are there now? Do we have impermeable floors here? Yeah, this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 edges, although I think... Yeah, maybe those are 6 edges. Which should be enough, right? That's more than 12 CMS. Theoretically. Okay. And once they've built that, we can think about the mechanism here to be able to have a proper overflow. Because, yeah, that's also something that I did not mention yet. With this system now, this is not proper overflow. We have a sluice here that will always let water, good water through, as long as the good water is, well, at least the same height of these sluices. And with this, the good water will always push here as long as there's something in it, even if a bad tide has started and we still have good water in here, which means the bad water that will come out of this pipe will not be able to push over there and go down in our drainage power generating system, which is now covered. So we need to build that so that we only have, you know, real overflow. That also stops as soon as the good tide is over. Which is why we can't have those sluices. We need to have, I don't know, dams or floodgates or something. But for testing purposes, right now this is good enough. But in the end, well, we need to have real overflow here that stops as soon as a bad tide hits, so that the bad water can go where it should go. This was, well, designed to bring the bad water to this power generation system down there, so that's what we need to achieve again. This is now built. And can we already see a change here if I now open those sluices again? We have established that we should get somewhat, or you know, 5-ish CMS after this thing, I think. This will go up to 6.6-ish. We'll lose some. Oh, only 0.2 days left, so not sure if we can test that. Okay, now we have 6 CMS here. We're only at 3 CMS over there, so that's not yet doing what I wanted to do. And I think we're already starting to lose pressure from the good water. Let's see, we're at 3 CMS here now, that's not enough. 2.8. No, I'm committed. We'll have to wait for the dry season to be over with. In the meantime, we are going to redo this bit. And also I want to redo this bit so that it looks nicer. I'm gonna do this in a time lapse. Once the water has stopped flowing. Yeah, right now we're losing overflow water here. So close the gates. This should all go to our overflow reservoir. Okay, let's do this in a time lapse. Okay, if I didn't mess up, this should be the same thing as before. Just without, well, without the platforms here and with overhangs, which I think looks a bit nicer. And now, let's see, what can we do over there? Let's talk about my plan. I want to have the ability to regulate the amount of water that gets, the amount of overflow that gets into the aqueduct without having to rebuild it all the time. So I think I'm gonna use floodgates for now, but this will again probably not be the final design because I'm still planning to turn this into a world wonder-like structure, which I guess I have to do pretty soon so that we don't have to do everything again or rethink everything again regarding the water throughput. Right. I think the plan is to have the floodgates over here at the same height of the sluices and remove the sluices and have this thing be the overflow area. I guess I'm just gonna do a time lapse and we'll see where we get, as always. Yep, let's do that. In theory, the overflow should go through those floodgates, collect in here, be pushed through, and I had to rebuild some sluices here for the system to work. Through the sluices, come out here at a CMS level that we can hopefully influence by, you know, opening or closing those floodgates, and the amount of floodgates that is open and how far we open them. The extra overflow that happens should go out of the map, well, out of the reservoir over here, maybe, hopefully. And yeah, with that we should be able to test the thing again in 20 days. So I really wanna get rid of all the possibilities of malfunctioning stuff that we could have over here. So I'm gonna stick to the thing where we ripped out four tiles on either side, so that we can be sure that it's not this thing that is influencing the amount of CMS. Actually, let's build 2 more those things here. Stream gauges. And yeah, this has been built, everything's closed here. Yeah, I think now we just wait till they have built this until the dry season is over. And I'll be right back with you in a second. Okay, so this thing is built. Wet season is upon us. And, well, as soon as the reservoir is filled, we can, once again, test this thing. Okay, water is rising. Just a little bit more, well, more than a little bit. We also need to fill the inner reservoir. Yeah. Okay, we're getting there, Those should be closed, right? Yeah, perfect. I've set the floodgates to 0.2 for the time being. We'll see how that works. That means the water should go here before it goes over the dams. Okay, so now water has started to go in this, I guess, pre-overflow pool thing at not a lot of CMS. Okay, let's see how this rises. I mean, we're at 2.5 CMS and we already have overflow. I don't like that. Why? Why is this not compressed down? We do have all those tiles here where the amount of water should be compressed down. I don't get it. Let's see if it stabilizes. It does as soon as it hits the pillar, and then it does not again. We're up to 3.8 here, 4. Now it has reached the end of the aqueduct. Does it go back? We're at 5-ish CMS here, more than 5, okay. And it goes down to 2.2 over there already. Okay, it goes up, 3-ish. What about over here? 2.5. So 6.3 CMS, maybe that's... I mean, maybe that's too much, but that doesn't change the thing that it goes down to 4 here. It goes down to 2.9 over here. So somewhere behind this, the system can't handle more than 2.9 CMS. Where? Is the band the problem? Well, let's save the game and we do the old testing again. I thought I fixed everything with the band, but let's see. If I remove... Hold on. 4 bits on this side and 4 bits on that side. That's for the band. Does this go up? It does. By a lot. Why? This band now is... That's wide enough. I'm sure. Is it not? Because... Do I have to move the sluices one tile further? Are we still... Yeah, that may be squished here, so... That could be the problem. Gonna load the save and remove the sluices. Maybe those sluices are the problem. The sluices are obviously needed because I want the bad water to go out here and the good water overflow to go over there. But we can place them one tile further ahead. So if I just remove them now, we should see a difference. We have 2.9 CMS here. Does this now go up if I go to triple speed? It does. So that was a problem. We're at 3.4 CMS per tile now. But still, that is still not the 5 CMS that I thought we'd get. Why now? We should have enough edges here. No, this should be enough edges. I don't think this is the problem now. Oh, hold up. Hold on. Yeah, we're at 4 CMS per tile now. Okay. I can live with 4 CMS. I mean, we obviously we can't get the 6.1 that we're getting in here. We can't handle those. So let's stop to synchronize. You're closed. Let's close some more. Reduce the 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have 5. Reduce the input. Now we have 5 stream gauges here. This lowers the CMS to 4.9, 4.9. We're at 4.1 here. Okay, close one more. .5 CMS. Oh, did we? Now it's at, yeah, okay. 3.94. 4 CMS. Again, overflow. Come on. .5 CMS. Okay, that's still too much. How many of those things do I have to close? .2, 3.3. What if I set this to be 0.6? I think that's default. And this to 0.6 as well. Nope. I think I have to close this one again. 3 floodgates are giving me 3 point something CMS here. I wanted to get at least my 4 CMS per tile. Come on. Yeah, okay. 3.7-ish. No, it's going down again. Weird. Does the height change something? I mean, obviously we'd still have to play around with, because this overflow isn't, you know, that's not a regulated thing here. Those are dams, those are floodgates. I can change the amount. 3.4, 3.2. I'm not sure if I can, you know, really change the amount of water going through here by adjusting this at the 0 point something level. Probably not. Opening another one, that's too much, right? Is it? Yeah, we're starting to get overflow now. I mean, I'm still not 100% sure why this doesn't compress more. I think it would compress over here. We still have an issue somewhere. I think we're still losing some CMS because of this thing. What's that? Oh, okay, that's the irrigation level. Why is this overflowing? Oh, because okay, because of this. So never, ignore that. So I think we would be able to get the 6 point something CMS on one tile here. And I think the problem is somewhere else. I think we still have a problem with this. This reduces our amount of CMS. I'm not exactly sure why, but somehow this affects the thing. Also, the band is still doing something. I mean, I still have to replace the sluices. Why can I not put sluices here? Oh, can't be, yeah, the stream gauges can't touch the sluices. So now build those things ASAP, because bad tide has started. Close below contamination, this means close above contamination of 1%. Don't close above downstream depth. Yeah, that's the setting that we want. I'm gonna take my... This is not contaminated here, it is. I'm gonna take my 3 something CMS for now. As I said, I'm still not 100% sure where we're losing everything. We're losing something here. We're probably losing something here. Maybe we're losing even something here. But I'll take that now. You can please write down in the comments below if you know what exactly is happening. I think that's as far as I will go with this. I've now spent 2 full evenings on this thing. And it's, to be honest, a bit more complicated than I thought it would be. Also, we still have the problem that this is no longer just an overflow. This is now still pressing against the bad water here. And the thing is, the water over there is not contaminated enough for those sluices to open. Because they should, you know, open with a contamination of 1%, which should happen as soon as a bit of bad water gets over here. So if I set this to auto open, now it will work. That's because we still have good water here pressing against the system. So this means that... What does this mean? This reservoir thingy is too big. Yeah, okay. I'll handle that as well in the future. Yeah, the conclusion is we now have the means to modify the amount of overflow that goes to the overflow aqueduct. With a bit fiddling around, we can get the maximum out of it without having overflow on the sides of the overflow aqueduct layer. But we're nowhere near where I wanted to get. I was hoping to get almost the full 6.6 CMS or at least something like that per tile here on the overflow aqueduct to get as much water in our overflow lake as possible. That's obviously not happening here. Again, probably because of this bend, maybe even because of the exit thing here. But that's as far as I will go with this. Yeah, I said that already. Sorry, I should end this episode now. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to do. Again, sorry, if this was not interesting for you, it was, you know, more the scientific episode thing. Had to be done. Feel free to write down your comments, what you think about the whole thing. And if you know what exactly happens, please also tell me that. And yeah, you can also tell me what you like to see next. We still have a whole lot of projects to tackle. I still want to turn this into a World Wonder-like structure. We still have to build the actual in-game World Wonder here. I want to build more stuff here in Ancient Beaverome. We still have to work on, you know, this thing and hide that probably as soon as the patch hits. We still have to hide this thing. Yeah, also... We never talked about this crater where we still have some water sources that we have not yet touched. So, possibilities. Okay, now I'm gonna end it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye!